So, with Season of Dawn, of course, we get 2 free events. One of them that's coming very soon, which is the Dawning. The first Dawning that we got with Destiny 2 was pretty random. It was interesting. I mean, it was pretty funny using snowballs in Patrol and in Strikes. I mean, throwing a giant snowball at Brachion was pretty funny, and it was different, and I liked it. And then we got second Dawning. We don't talk about that one, but yeah, recipes and stuff, and the snowballs went away for some reason. Global warming's happening in Destiny 2. No more snow. And don't even try and be scientific about the snowballs in Mercury. That made perfect sense. It was dandruff. Osiris is bald. Have you seen him? So, this Dawning is going to be so much better than Osiris's dandruff on the floor and recipes, because we're going to get SRL. We're not going to get SRL? Then what are we going to get? Oh no. So, let's talk about the Dawning. But, before we talk about the Dawning, let's talk about the word of the day! Criticism! Oh boy, I sure love criticism. Do you not know what criticism is? It's a fun word. It's something that you should definitely use as well. So criticizing things in video games is okay. You're not complaining, you're not whining, you're just talking about something that, you know, is probably not that great about the game, and you want the developers to know about it and think to themselves, you know what? Maybe we should do better the next time. So criticizing things is actually a positive thing for games in the future of its franchise or the game itself. And that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to talk about positives, and I'm going to talk about negatives. So, with the Dawning, of course, we got our trailer, and it was like a glorified Eververse trailer. I mean, literally, this Dawning, I always called it an Eververse, it might as well be, is kind of I don't know what's going on with Dawning. Like, I really, honestly was hoping for something, I don't know, more. Because I think the point of these free events is that, yes, they're free, quote-unquote, but there's a lot of Eververse items that obviously will incentivize people to pay for things, to basically pay for the event itself. It's almost like when you do, like, hey, there's a free party, but you gotta pay whatever amount if you want some snacks, like extra things, and it kind of pays for itself for its party. That's a really weird comparison. Anyways, the point is that Eververse would kind of, you know, pay for itself for the event with anything that they make, from the decorations to the new activity that's not in Dawning. I mean, let's be honest. A new activity for Dawning is what is needed. These free events are honestly, in my opinion, not okay if they are not going to try and do something innovative. Festival Lost at least had the Haunted Forest. And even though it was still the Haunted Forest from the year before, at least they decorated it more, and it was still interesting. They had bounties, they had the candies and stuff, and that was cool. They got a new auto rifle. Pretty nice. And then, of course, we had Revelry, which was just the not-so-scary Haunted Forest. It was like the Happy Forest. And then we got Solstice of Heroes with the Sky Forest. Dawning has no forest. Not even a frozen forest. Could you think of something cool like that? A frozen forest? I mean, think about it. Here's an idea. It's like almost like and it doesn't have to make sense in the game's lore or anything, but spawning into like a frozen area with like trees with snow on them. They can have Dawning decorations if they want to or not. Maybe like you spawn inside a globe. Like it's just like a memory or something, like just something random. Like, I don't know, Eva being like, hey, Guardian, you gonna have cheer in this globe? I don't know. And you spawn in there, you battle a bunch of enemies, and there's a boss, boom, bang, and Dawning stuff. And then you complete it, and you get a bunch of recipe goodies. You still get it from outside the game, but you get way more for doing this activity, kind of with the Haunted Forest. And it would be something new, something interesting, something different to mess with for the time being. What do we get? Not SRL. No new frozen forest globe idea. Instead, just recipe hunting. So, essentially, the game is not going to change at all. The tower will, but the game won't. Sure, there's some cool things. I'm really liking the idea of having a exclusive, like, event weapon to go for. Kind of like with they did with Crimson Doubles with the bow, and then Obviously, we had the recent one with the auto rifle for Festival Lost, and now we got an SMG, and I'm hoping that it actually is pretty good, and I'm going to try and grind for some good rolls on it, because I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get random rolls on it, and such. But most of the stuff shown off is all Eververse. Granted, it was really nice for them to say that everything will be sold for Bright Dust, except for the finisher move, which is you just doing a skate kick or something, an ice skating kick. It's kind of funny looking and cool, but that's the only thing that's silver only. Everything else is Bright Dust. And plus, they talked about Bright Dust being an issue, and feedback was definitely given with them saying that this new event and all events going forward, all the bounties will have Bright Dust tied to them. So you'll be able to get Bright Dust. But it's still kind of on the amount that we get. I honestly feel like they should definitely do way better, but I plan on talking about Bright Dust stuff and Eververse stuff in a separate video. But overall, Dawning is just a glorified advertisement to go to Eververse, and I don't like that feeling. And I don't want Bungie to think that they can't do Eververse. Honestly, I'm going to probably buy a lot of the stuff from Eververse if I don't use it for Bright Dust. I mean, there was a few things that I liked. I mean, the globe ghost shell, that was kind of funny and interesting. I don't know about the armor, though, but again, it's not a big deal. I don't really care about Eververse. Yes, there are things that are annoying about Eververse with its price tags and stuff, but again, this is not an Eververse video. This is about Dawning. And yes, sadly, Eververse is a big portion of Dawning, like 75%. It's so disappointing. Bungie, hear me, okay? When you do these free events, you gotta have some more pizzazz, more innovation to them. I mean, D1 with SRL was a great addition, a great innovation. This Dawning, it's just like every Dawning has gotten a little bit worse or just kind of been stuck in limbo. The snowballs were completely removed from patrol and strikes. Could you imagine if they added the snowballs to the raids as well, and where it had a debuff, almost like Oppressive Darkness, like in last season, but with the snowballs. Every time you threw a snowball, it would do Oppressive Darkness to the enemies. Imagine throwing a freaking snowball at the whatever Jim, the what is his name in the Garden of Salvation? The Sanctified Mind or whatever its name. His Jim. It's Jim. Throwing a snowball at Jim, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm gonna take more damage, like 25% more damage from everything," and it does stack with divinity and stuff, like the Oppressive Darkness did before. And it just makes, yeah, it makes things a little bit easier, but it's the Dawning. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to affect the game. Revelry was kind of doing that, which was a good idea with the whole, like, well, I know the Crucible was a mess, but with the, when you would get headshots, precision kills, there would be, like, a bunch of orbs that come out, and you would get your super, like, very quickly with that. I really like that concept, and I was so excited to do raids like that, and then they turned it off because of guitar errors. Yay. But they don't have to do that if they don't want to be like, oh, Revelry with the tonics. They can just do the snowball thing. Or, like I said, an activity where you go inside a snow globe or something, or the ice caps of Mars, and you kill things. And you get a bunch of recipe stuff. Like a lot. Come on. And before you think to yourself, would Bungie be able to have the time to make that? I mean, yes. If they're able to make the Eververse stuff, they can make, and they don't have to use new assets if they want for the activity. They, like I said, use the same hive from Mars, and they can even use assets of like the cave ways or whatever of ice and stuff for the new activities area as well, and they just can take some pine trees from Devram's house area, plant, and you know what I mean, eat easy, and just put snow on it. That's it. You know, just do something like that. They did it for Solstice, where they added a new activity, which was awesome. I love that idea way more than the whole like redoing the missions thing that they did the first Solstice. I mean, that was cool too, but still. But Dawning needs more pizzazz. It's a holiday thing. It's supposed to be like, bam. Like, I really want the holiday season event to be the best one out of all of them. I mean, yeah, Halloween is kind of okay. And then Valentine's Day, and then you got Easter one, which is the Revelry, and then you got the summer one, which is just solstice. But everyone loves the holidays. Well, at least most people. Except for Jim. Jim doesn't like it. But yet, it's worse than Halloween's. I don't know, how is that possible? That's like saying, you know what, Halloween's the best season ever. We all hang out and eat turkeys and everyone's all cheerful and stuff for Halloween. No! No. Gosh dang it, no. So we don't get SRL. We don't get a new activity. It's literally just copy and paste. Which is somewhat fine. You did it with Haunted Forest, but because there was nothing wrong with the previous Haunted Forest. I know people are like, you did copy and pasted the Infinite Forest. Yeah, I get it, but it was something different and fun with the mechanics. And that's all we really care about for these free events, is just to have something fun to them. So any of the people that are like, well, I want them to do like something crazy brand new and stuff. Like, we don't need that, honestly. We just need something. So, with that being said, Bungie, no. No. Eververse definitely needs to be looked at a little bit more. Your feedback that you gave us recently about how you're going to make Bright Dust happen with these free events as well is great, but that's not actually fixing it, and I plan on doing a separate video talking about that soon. But I'm so sad. But I'm still going to play the Dawning. I still want to get some of the things from Eververse, like Bright Dust wise and stuff. But yeah, I'm sad. No SRL, like I said, and no new activity idea. Couldn't that be, like, wouldn't that be the coolest thing if we spawn into, like, a globe? Like, there's just, like, a globe with snow and stuff that's on, like, a desk, and Eva's like, you know, go up to it and look into it. And then you spawn in there. And you start battling enemies, and then there's a boss or whatever, and there's snowballs too. You could use, which basically do the oppressive darkness thing. Giving you ideas, Bungie! Oppressive darkness snowballs that do stack with other things, by the way, because it's an event. Fun. Fun is the factor. Who cares if things get easier for an event? It's the holidays. And new activity that's like a snow globe thing, or snow, just snow area, just ice, anything like that. You could reskin using the Mars enemies, like I said. Something like that. And you could still sell stuff in the Eververse store, perfectly fine. And I'll be there, being a happy customer, as I always have, going to buy the snow globe ghost, or whatever. And the bread emote. That one's funny. That's interesting. I like that one. So, I want to know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you agree with what I'm saying and you want this to be a thing, maybe share it. Maybe, I don't know, send it to your grandma. Don't do that. She probably won't know. And you should probably send something else. And not a fruitcake. No one really likes fruitcakes. You see them in grocery stores. I don't know who likes them. And I'm sorry if you like them. I'm not trying to shame you. But want to know your thoughts in the comments down below about the Dawning and my idea of what they could do. And if you have a different idea, a different, cooler idea, let me know in the comments down below. I'll be very curious on what you may think up. But either way, happy holidays, everybody. Happy Dawning. Have a chibi-tastic day.